Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like right now it's only one of you and me. Welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, May 25th, 2021. I'll give folks a few moments to get in this morning. Please do say hello. Let me know if the audio and video are good this morning. All right. Jumping in quickly here. Crude. The long is before our start time, but we were able to get in sync on this third bar after the plotted entry. That is after our start time. And that gives you a 16 tick target one and 81 to 88 and a 7 tick trailer this morning. 23 ticks, one and done on crude. I'll come back to unleaded. It's not had a good morning so far. But the pound Aussie, initial long trade but never triggered. We did trigger into the short and have hit target one. Stop now at 82.28 plus your whatever spread adjustment you're using. We're in a short, so we'll account for spread on the exits. They are the buy side. The buy sides are the exits. And getting very close to target two. This trade, my trade is exactly like the trade today. I have exactly the same trade on my chart today that they have, that Kevin has called out. So there is target two achieved on the pound Aussie. And moving on down toward target three. So it's going to be a one and done session on the pound Aussie this morning. as I was saying, unleaded has not had a good morning. We were definitely get in sync with the short that's off screen. Let me expand that. Our first trade of the morning was this short way back here at 843, getting in sync on this bar, the 90104 bar. That was an 8. That was actually 8 seconds, but you had plenty of lots of chance to get in on that, unfortunately. Then we stop and reverse to long at 1136. 4-tick stop and reverse adjust, and then key level. And that unfortunately gives us a full stop out. Then we get into the subsequent short at 1084. So I have one stop and reverse that would have been at 31. That one cancels, and then we get a stop and reverse at 41. Entry at plotted at 36, 4 ticks plus key level again. And that just barely triggered us in, and unfortunately went for a full stop. So we have 2 stop and reverses and 2 full stops and 4 trades already. And it's not quite 9:30 yet. We have another short setup that has not triggered yet at 1083. So not a good morning on unleaded. But that does happen. And there are more good days than bad. Market open in 2 minutes. In about 2 minutes. The YM is flat. Soybeans has a get in sync short that as of 8:45, when trading paused on soybeans, was sitting right at the entry at 32.75. Depending on how you want to play this one, the entry is either 33.25, or I have the chase ticks on because this was just a preliminary setup, and when the histogram confirmation was achieved, price had pushed more than two ticks beyond the entry, so the two-tick chaser came into play and pushed the entry down to 32.75. I actually think that's not a bad place for it, given where the 50 is. Looking for a pullback up to 33.25 again is just a good chance. If it pulls back up that way, it also could very well keep going up as it clears the 50 EMA. So all right, and we got to have a long, instead of the short, we have a long on unleaded for trade number 5. And that one seems to be doing a little bit better at the moment. Markets are open. And looks like we did get in sync with. We did have a possibility to get. Well, maybe we had a possibility. No, that was too fast to execute. So that was just a splat of bars at the open. And we did get a short coming out of the open on the Russell that hit money management and stopped out for a tick. No target. No targets there. The YM gets an SMA trade that looks like definitely hit money management and also target one. So that would, for those trading the SMA, let's see, was that tradable now? 30 second, yeah, that probably was tradable. So, and stopping out. So that's a one and done for those trading the SMA setups. I will follow additional trades for the gold level traders not using that setup. Soybeans in a short. The long setup didn't ever trigger, and so now we're in a short. $30.5. Money management is at $28.25. Have not gotten there yet. That's our first target. Pound Aussie getting very close to its target 3. Oh, wait a minute. I got the chat covered up. Sorry about that. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate the response on the audio video. Good to see you. Good to see you here as well, Roger. And John W. And good morning to you, Miles. Oh, and another stop and reverse here on unleaded. This will be trade number. This will be our last trade on unleaded today. Entry. There we go. Entry at 61. So that would come down to entry at 07. So that would push down to 03. And looks like 03 was hit. So we are in the short. Just a lot of noise this morning on unleaded, unfortunately. And soybeans hitting targets 1 and 2. Our stop is now 30.25. 30.25 on soybeans on the bottom left. $12.5 points a tick. And we've got 9 and 14, so 23 ticks so far. Just shy of $300. And actually, we got exactly $300 with the one tick stop at the moment. No more trades on the YM so far. And we're waiting for the 9 a.m. or for the 10 a.m. session rather on crude, since we went one and done on our crude oil chart right at the start time for that chart at 9 a.m. this morning. 9 a.m. Eastern time. That's traded out of New York. That would be exchange time. All of my timestamps on these charts are Eastern, which actually don't match the exchange time for the Russell and the YM. But soybeans and crude are traded out of New York. So they start at 9:30, as well as unleaded gas. So those are all correct exchange times. And we use Eastern time as our exchange time on the currencies, just for convenience. And soybeans stopping out, so 24 ticks on the day, actually 25 ticks. So 312.50. Less commissions and of course any slippage on soybeans. And a stop and reverse exit at 51. And we are out. Unleaded gas is done with no successful trades. A couple of full losses and four stop and reverses. Although the last one was just an exit and we didn't actually reverse. It was a stop at the new setup. Which did save us a few ticks because it did hit our full stop anyway. So unleaded is done with 6 trades this morning on a down result. YM still with no trades for the gold level traders. Only our one SMA trade right at open, right at market open. Stop has moved down to 82.26 on the pound Aussie, with 2 targets achieved. Trying to work down through the session lows to target 4, or target 3 rather. At 82. $1.82. $1.82 on the Australian dollar against the pound. So 1.8200 is target 3. We got down as low as 82.022. So 2.2 pips away from target 3. And now it looks like unleaded may decide it's going to start moving in its 7th trade of the morning. Yep, there's money management on the 7th trade for the first time. We did get caught up in the noise this morning. Looks like the pound Aussie stop will come down to 82.21 on the close of this bar. And unleaded hitting target 2 on trade number 7, which we're not participating in. Now, did we have anything tradable on? Okay, we had the Russell had a short at 9:30. Yeah, we got a 1 tick, and that's been all for the Russell. The Russell pushing through session, well up through session highs. And the YM, see what it's doing overall. A very tight range this morning. It's session high at 34,483 and the session low at 359. So just barely over 100-point range since close yesterday. All right, let's see what, since unleaded wasn't kind to us this morning, let's see what Euro Yen looks like, and that's in an early trade from 5 a.m. this morning and just stopping out of that. So it's flat and waiting for a new setup. So nothing to do there at the moment. And there's the move to 82.21 for the pound Aussie stop. And target 3. So target 3 achieved on the pound Aussie. And of course, stop moving to 82.21. And Kevin is reporting the same thing on Trade Today. Actually, an unusual day where we have exactly the same trade on. My Ninja Trader chart with Alonda data and his TradeStation chart. And it looks like a short trade on the Russell. Russell rolling over a little bit. Money management had another one tick stop out without reaching target one, even target one. But that's going to be a POQ with two money management trades on the Russell. Still no trade yet on the YM. The long on crude is off the table for a possible get-in sync for the 10 a.m. session, having gone too far. So we're watching the pound Aussie trade, that is a POQ trade. Soybeans was POQ, and crude was POQ on its first trade of the morning for the 9 a.m. session. Two break-even trades on the Russell for POQ there. Diamond level traders using the SMA setup on the YM got one and done with a quick target one. And coming back to quick exit at break even on the trailer. And now we have a short on the Euro Yen. And not much to work with right now. $133.48 for the Euro Yen entry. And having to, let's see what we have here. Money management is showing at 36 with target 2 at 37. So target 2 would be 11 pips, and that would be a valid take profit level. Pound Aussie stop just came down to 82.16. And Euro Yen got within one tick of its entry at 48. Sitting at 48.1 right now. If you're trading that, there's the entry. So you should be short now on the Euro Yen. Here again, exits will be adjusted for your spreads. So it looks like all three indices, the ES is trending downward as well from market open. Down a bit over 5 points on the future side of things. And the YM and the Russell both heading down. And there's a new long trade on the pound Aussie, but we won't be taking that. That's at, what is that at? That's a long entry at 82.14. That actually should key level up to 16. And getting within about just over 5 minutes of our 10 a.m. start time on crude. We will look for a new setup. The current one has gone too far, having already hit money management. There's our first trade of the morning on the YM. I didn't see how long that was at the entry, but it moved through rather quickly, it looks like. 13-second bar. All right, the stop has actually moved down now on the pound Aussie to 82.11, but I would probably keep that up at 16. I actually might even push it up to 18 and get above the previous swing high. Just try to stay in a little longer, risking a couple of. Actually, I guess I'd be risking 7 pips, and the 82.11 would have just stopped out. But with it just having produced a swing up to slightly above 82.13, I certainly wouldn't move my stop to 11 at this point. At least not if I wanted to stay in the trade. And I think it's worth risking a few pips on this one to stay in the trade. You've only got 2 positions left that are you got target 4 in the trailer. So I think 18 is probably a good place to put the stop. It's 7. It's leaving 14 ticks of risk essentially on, as you're risking 14 ticks of your possible profit. And the YM starting to fall again, unfortunately. That was the first attempt at a reversal, and it was pushing up into the 20 SMA, so that would be one that you could make the choice to wait for it to test the lows once again before taking that one. And we now have a new long reversal at 11. No, I'm sorry, at 15. No, at 16. So yeah, I would leave my stop at 18 at the moment. Trade today reporting that he has stopped out, and that will do it for the day. And pound Aussie reaching 17. Reaching exactly 182.17, which equals that swing level I was talking about, and target 2 achieved on the euro yen. So 2 positions come off, and stop comes to break even. Still a pretty slow moving chart. I'm not sure is in our interest to be trading yet, or at the moment anyway. When I'm looking at this swing high where it started to pull back and gave us a pivot right there, and that was at 82.17, which is why I would suggest 18 as a potential stop. I wouldn't want to push it up above 20. That's risking a little too much. And we'll see if that will keep me in the trade or not. And now the 20 SMA on the at the current calculation is at 18.1. And another push to right 217. I closed at 16.9. The next bar opened at 17 and got as high as 17.6. So 18 is still holding. And 18 stopped out. So you would have been better off to follow the plot, but that was a calculated risk to try to stay in that trade. So let's see what the YM is doing. YM still, it did come down and seemed to be rejected at a little above the session low. So if you weren't in that, you probably should be now. We have a crossover, the 50 below the 200 now. But we definitely seem to be moving up. And I was looking at the Pound Aussie and missed this. This is our 10 a.m. session trade, and it went quickly through money management and target one. So that's going to be a one and done 10 a.m. session as well. And of course, our question of the moment is, can we get to money management on the YM? Money management at 384, target at 387. And of course now money management is just up above the 50 EMA, which will be somewhat problematic. And crude stopping out for, looks like 2 ticks on the trailer. So that is done for the 10 a.m. session. Pound Aussie is done. The Russell is done. The YM for diamond level traders is done. We're trying to get gold level traders to POQ on the YM. Soybeans was POQ. Unleaded gas was our sore spot this morning. Just money management is this little spotlight. You'll see it's usually 0.9x. It's this little small dot. So in a point where we can move our stop to break even, where we manage our risk. So if we get two trades that are basically, we move the stop to break even, but we haven't been able to hit our target objectives, then we call that, we do call that POQ. Our POQ rules for most of these charts are one trade to our target objective or two money management trades. And I say to our target objective, since our target objective on crude and the YM, the 8-tick or 8-cent range bar, momentum bar on crude, and the 14-tick range bar on, or 14-tick momentum bar on the YM, 14-point momentum bar, our target objective on both of those is target 1, typically. Now, you don't have to choose that, but that's what we use in the room. That has what testing has shown us is the most profitable target level on a long-term basis. It may not be on a given trade, but over the long term, that is our best, seems to be our best option. And we're approaching, there's money management on the YM getting to 85, and there's target. So that will be a one and done session for gold level traders, having hit target 1 at 387. Took a while. It took us almost a half hour to get into your first trade, and then it took about 15 minutes for the trade to work out. So that actually brings us to, we're only watching, the euro yen is the only thing we're watching, and that just is a test. It's hit. It didn't actually hit its money management, but it did hit target 2, which under our rules is sufficient for us to move, since we would have taken profit at that level. We would move our stop down. And so that will be a one and done whenever it completes. So I will open the floor. Certainly, I'm open for questions. Let me know if you have anything, or if not, this looks like it's going to be a pretty shorter session. Troy will be in tomorrow morning for the Wednesday morning session and for the crude oil report at 10:30. We'll run a separate live stream for that session. And I will be in on Thursday morning this week to complete the schedule for the week. I know we actually tend to run a bit of a delay. So let me know if there are any questions. A successful day everywhere except unleaded gas. Control Dale Kelly asking you how to bring up the data box on NT8. Control D will do that. And also, if you look along the, I'll expand, and the YM stopping out on its trailer. So let's take a look at that, and I'll expand it and show you in the, along the title bar, you also have this icon. Looks like a sheet of paper with a magnifying glass on it. That will also toggle your data box on and off. And I also have my data box, in this case, set to always on top, just because of the way NinjaTrader 8 treats the screens, because this is not my primary screen, so it does cover up my taskbar, but it also would push the right edge of the chart over to the right edge of the screen, and so that's why I don't put the data box there, because it would cover up the right edge of the chart. The best place, John W. asking where you can find a list of how much the tick and pips are worth for each trade, is look at your contract definitions on the CME Group website. For the Russell and the YM, the tick value is $5 a tick, and that also is true for NQ for anybody looking at that. Crude is $10 a tick. Now the micro futures on the indices are 50 cents a tick. Exactly 1/10. Soybeans is $12.50 a tick. It's $50 a point, quarter point ticks. And as far as looking at your Forex, your best way to do, the best place I've found to do that is I think it's investing.com. Yeah. They have a very good set of tools for Forex. I mean, if you look under the, this is investing.com, look under their tools. See if this is the one I'm looking for. And I'm not, no, that's not the one I want. Let's see if this is the one I'm looking for. Yeah, that's not the one I'm looking for, but that will get you somewhere close. I have to wait for that to do its thing. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that I usually use for. As it gives you your pip value for standard mini and micro lots. And a whole list of currencies. And of course, you can set the account currency and your trade size, and it will give you the pivot value for your trade. So any other questions? All right. Well, our pound yen trade is still hanging in, but that's all for the day. I don't see any more questions. So I am going to bid everybody farewell, wish everybody a good afternoon, and see everybody tomorrow. We'll do this. Troy will be in about 9:30 for the market open session, and then he'll shut it down probably about 10:15 or so. Come back about 10:25 for the crude oil inventory report session at 10:30. And we'll look for trades starting at 10:32. So we'll see everybody tomorrow.